Oh man, hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Garage Topics. I'm out hot and heavy and out of breath because I just made another car purchase. With my boy Trey, we drove 6 hours south to, I think, Macon, Georgia, just outside that area. And boy, do we have a freshie coming to the channel. Introducing a 1974 C10 Squarebody. So it's been about a week or so since I got the truck. Obviously, you could tell I was driving to get it, and it was a long day. I left at 5 a.m. and returned about 9 p.m. We basically straight trotted it there, saw the truck, loaded it up. I kind of wish I would have got footage of loading it up because, as you'll see here in a second, it doesn't actually run currently, and I don't have a winch on my trailer, so thankfully the road where we picked it up had a hill so we could push it on up, but whew, it was an interesting experience, but all's good. We're in the garage here. SS is doing good. Might need to give it a wash here in a little bit, but let's blabbering. Let's go take a look at the C10 and show you what we got and what we're gonna do with it. All right, here she is. This is a 1974 C10, and to square body aficionados, you'll recognize it doesn't look anything like a 74. That's because the entire front clip has been swapped at some point. And to make things even more confusing, the front grille has been swapped to a Suburban style grille. But rest assured, the cab and the bed is 74, the front clip has been changed. I may change this out, but for right now, the main purpose is to get this running and driving, and then we can explore from that. So you've seen the front angle. I'm gonna do a walk around here. This fender here is in great shape. The hood's got some small dents here and there. The camera is probably gonna make this thing look immaculate, but it is not. Let me see here. I would call it a Mako paint job. Not fully finished out, but I don't know, like 3 or 4 feet away, it actually looks pretty good. So I am happy. You can see it's got a roll pan on the back. I'm not a fan of that. The truck has been lowered with a 4.6 drop. So let me get into why I wanted to get this truck. So why did I drive super far to pick up this truck? Couple of reasons. One, rust free, almost no rust on it at all. 2, it's already had an LS swap in it. But 3, it's not running, so it was cheaper. But the things to make it run, I have. So it has an LS, it has the fuel system in it, but it doesn't have a transmission or an ECU setup. And I have a transmission and an ECU sitting in the garage. A lot of the wiring's been done already, so it's a 80% project, which has appealed to me because time is of the essence with a newborn. So we're gonna get this thing up and running quick, and quick, I mean like hopefully in a month or 2, we'll see. In addition to the drop that it had, it's got new wheels, they're 15-inch Steelies, new tires essentially as well. I will eventually switch to 17s, but for now this is great. The appealing part to this as well is that it has brand new brakes. New brakes, the calipers, rotors, hoses, master cylinder, even the rear drums and everything has been addressed as well. So it's in great shape as far as a running and driving vehicle. There's some small issues cosmetically. The biggest ones is dent here, and then I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up or not, but the rear tailgate is the worst. I don't know why someone would paint over this, but like you can see like grinder marks and such in here. There's a little bit of rust in here, but the rest of the paint's okay. So what I'm going to do is I'll probably sand this down, paint it, but I'm not touching this thing cosmetically until it is running and driving. The bed, typical bed. There's no liner in here. There's a little bit of like surface rust, but otherwise it's pretty good. Got this car in Georgia. There's some Georgia pine needles right there. What else is going on here? Same thing. This fender looks like it's got a couple dents here and there, but I'm gonna show you inside and then we'll pop the hood. All right, the keys all work and such. And the interior is a little bit of a mess right now with parts and everything. I'll talk about that here in a second. All these panels have been painted black. This cab and bed, to my knowledge, was a light blue. You can see it in the panel there, and you can see it's somewhere up on the firewall. But for now, again, fine cosmetically. I kind of like it being dark black. I have the wheel off right now. The only reason I had the wheel off is because I had some issues with the ignition lock cylinder. So I just replaced that and it's good to go. We'll talk about that in a second, but basically got some gauges. We'll change all this up at some point. There's no gas pedal. There's a brake. The brake works good. Let's talk about that after I show you the engine bay. So go ahead and pop the hood. Boom. All right. There's so much room in this car, and this truck, I should say. So this is a 5.3. To my knowledge, it has a stage 4 cam in it. It was NA before. I'm going to change it out. I'm going to talk about that in a second, but like there's so much room in here to work on this. Like here, the spark plug, just you could literally sit on this fender well and work on this truck. Because it already has been LS swapped and running, it's got the whole cooling system set up already. Here's all the new brake situation. It's got some surface rust in it because the brake fluid will do that. It's got a new wiper motor in it. It's got a fuse box all ready to go. Just needs a couple things to be set up on it. The engine's tilted back like that because there's no transmission. As you can see, so much room. There's no transmission back there, so it's just dangling on those. But so it's already got the engine mounts. It has the transmission mount for a 480, which is what we're going to put in it. But to my knowledge, this is the running and driving engine. So I've got a spare one if I need it, but hopefully I don't have to use it for a while. But we'll see. So let's go take a look at the inside of those extra parts and talk about what this is going to happen, what we're going to do with this truck. Oh man, look at this. Sitting in my Squarebody C10 truck, barn in the background. So I actually have had a C10 before. My very first vehicle was a 1981 C10 stepside. It was inline 6, it was slow as molasses. So the smell of this cab reminds me of that truck. So you see a lot of parts here. The steering wheel, obviously I took that off. You see a lot of piping. That's intercooler piping. The truck came with about 95% of what I need to put a turbocharged system on this truck. So here's the plan. The plan is to have a 4853, basically replicating a sloppy mechanics build. That was the plan with the LTD. I have since sold the LTD. The main reason I sold it was I thought it was cool, but you're gonna sell everything eventually. So when I was gonna sell that, 10 people in the world would want it. Also, a ton of work because it was a bone stock grandma car. I wanted to let someone else have that fun, and I just wouldn't have the time to do it. So I actually wasn't planning on a project, but this popped up and this made a whole lot of sense to me. So anyways, the truck is gonna be my hot rod. I'm gonna fool with the SS eventually, but this allows me to have something to tinker with that I'm not gonna be fretting about being reliable, not being my main car, but it will be something fun to drive. So it'll have the 4.8 or 5.3 with a cam in it. I've got a cam in the other engine. I'm gonna swap that out into this one, put some valve springs in it, hook up the transmission. I've got a torque converter I just ordered. When all these parts come in, I'll do separate videos about that. And then also, there's some fab work needed for the turbo system, but a lot of it's already been done with the intercooler piping and such. A lot of sensors, a lot of hoses for the oil feed, oil return. Let me go show you the turbocharger that's going on this thing. It's a good one. It's premium. Here it is. So this is a 7875 cast wheel turbocharger. This is a eBay special. It's probably less than 300 bucks new, but this here is a T4 to 3-inch V-band adapter, which came with the truck. And I have already got the Hooker turbo manifold sitting right there. They just need to be brushed up a little bit because it's a little bit surface rusty, but this bad boy is going to sing. And this will be plenty for what I'm trying to do with the truck, at least at the start. I will eventually upgrade the turbocharger to a nicer unit, but this will get me up and running, and this is gonna probably make over 500 wheel horsepower. So this will be fun. This will probably make me crap my pants, and premium quality, baby. Prime quality. Some of the goodies I've kept in here so no one takes them. Here's my spare engine, but part of what came with the truck was the rear main seal kit, brand new. And here is the prime quality turbocharger. This is probably one of the most expensive, best quality, oh crap. This is probably one of the most expensive, best quality turbochargers money can buy. It's like, other goodies include speakers to set up the stereo in it. And then in here we've got a bunch of fittings for the oil return lines. Nice stuff. We've got on-3 blower valve and wastegate, all new, all the gaskets, oil fitting adapters, map sensor, you name it. So literally there was a lot of components that came with this truck, and that's what inclined me to get it. Starter, you name it. Like, it's basically good to go. And if something were to happen, I have an entire spare engine. So, Club Day Fresh. That's the rundown of this truck. I wanted to do this quickly so I can show you what's going on. I'm going to work on it bit by bit, and when I do that, I'm going to show you what I've done to fix it up. This weekend, it's supposed to rain a whole lot, and I don't want to pull the engine out until I have the transmission because I want to put it all in one big swoop in. So I'm going to tinker around with some wiring this weekend, so I'll update you when that's done. There's a random dog in my yard. It smells like skunk over here, so maybe you got sprayed by a skunk. Who knows? We're living out here in Kentucky, got the old barn and my old Squarebody C10. I'm super pumped for this. I think I'm going to call it the hood truck. It's got a hood rat kind of vibe to it. The paint, it looks nice, but you get close and like, that's a little different, but I dig it. I'm looking forward to this project. I think it's going to be a good one. So if you're new to the channel, thanks a lot for watching. Be sure to subscribe. If you want more content on this truck, you're going to get it. If you want some of the SS, you're going to get it. If you're here because you like the Tundra and you were like, oh, where's the Tundra? Tundra's in the barn. It's not going anywhere. I towed the trailer to Georgia and back with that Tundra, and it did great. So there'll be more Tundra content coming soon. Alright, thanks a lot for watching. Keep it real. Club Day Fresh. Peace out.